we go. Right, logo first. Hey everyone, welcome back to the NJDJN TV channel. My name is Mike Cassis, the NJDJN president, and today we have a special guest. We don't see him on the screen right now, but here he is, bringing us to you live all the way from Kandahar. No, he's out in Freehold. So the resolution is actually looking better. We were doing some testing earlier, me and John. So we have here John Murphy, the
Buddy, how you doing? Hey, Mike.
Good. How you doing? So let's give a little intro on John. John, the CEO. We used to refer to him as the rock and roll CEO of Star DJs, the world famous Star DJs, which was based out of Old Bridge, New Jersey. But they did gigs where we were everywhere. And from there on in, John pursued other interests, and he is the proud CEO of It's Exciting Lighting. It's that's really innovative. I'm going to have John tell everyone out there in his own words what that's all about. And John is also going to tell us about his new venture, the Make 100 Healthy. Actually, how would you refer to that? What would be? It's an organization, or is that just sort of a?
Well, Make 100 Healthy is actually a movement. It's more than just a company. It's a movement to basically inform people the best practices of living a very balanced life, and just trying to give information, inspiration, and motivation to help yourself stay healthy, wealthy, and wise.
That's fantastic. I know I could use a little more motivation in my life. It's been a long time since fitness was part of my regular schedule, and a lot of times I'm thinking of ways to get that back. So that's very interesting and noble that you're doing that, and at this time of your life too. So let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about the Star DJs days, and some of the things that motivated you as an entertainer, and how you were able to create such a large organization.
Well, I think, Mike, I was really more lucky for my timing. The forefront of mobile DJ entertainment, and I was one of the first guys that was able to duplicate what was successful for me, which was as an interactive MC. I was one of the first guys to coin the phrase music mixer and party host, and we had the two-man team. These terms seem a little archaic today, but they were pretty revolutionary back then. Party motivators. These are all terms that we coined back in the day, as they say.
Yeah.
And Star DJs was really, I would say, more than a company. It was more like a brotherhood, a fraternity of like-minded souls that all wanted to go out there and do a great job. And, it's funny that 25, 30 years later, I'm still friends with many of the Star DJs, and very proud to say quite a few of them are involved in our Make 100 Healthy initiative.
That's great. Yeah, I'm also proud to say that I was part of the Star DJ team, and that's really
yes, you were.
And for a lot of people, it was their way into being introduced to the world of DJing and MCing. And maybe I thought of it as a notion when I was 14 years old, but it wasn't something I was going to jump into, because I didn't know the first thing about DJing. But thanks to you, John, and the Star DJ group and everybody you had working with you, I learned in 6 months I was doing my own
Right.
gigs as the MC.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. What happened was we became so popular that we needed to get more talent to be able to keep doing more gigs, but we really were conscious about maintaining quality. And that's when we formed the Star DJ School of Live Entertainment, which I think you went to, right, Mike?
I went to.
Right, and
I was in 2 classes.
You were in it.
our Star DJ School of Live Entertainment was Steve Sabat at the Ramada Inn in where was that? That was up north. That was way up there. An hour a week
Yeah,
drive.
the Fairfield Ramada.
Fairfield Ramada, and I think about a year after my first gig, the school opened, but it had
Okay.
it still had other, even though I was in the whole training program, it still had other opportunities. You had new classes in there. Like I went to Rose Tamburino's voice classes, and they were great.
Oh my God, is she fantastic?
Oh, she was amazing. And
she's back on the radio again. She's on Evening Drive up in Connecticut, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I was.
She was the voice. She was the voice of Star DJs doing all our videos.
Absolutely, yes. And then she was a great teacher too. And I was so proud to hear her on PLJ when she was covering for Christina Lang during the Rocky Allen Showground. I used to hear her voice for the traffic, and I was like, "Oh, that's my teacher! Yep. I can't believe it." So it was really quite an honor to hear her on the radio, knowing that you learned I learned from her. So it was right. It was pretty cool.
So I got to tell you, there was some fantastic people, great talent. I think we really, we actually established a standard of excellence in mobile DJ entertainment,
mm-hmm.
and I think that it's all them. But the same premise is that the cream rises to the top, and you really got to be as good as you possibly can on each person's event because this is the most important day of their lives if you're doing a wedding or a bar mitzvah and corporate event. And so I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to duplicate what was really just me starting out as a one-man DJ and building it into a pretty substantial company that, as you know, eventually I was able to sell it to Isaiah Thomas and Rick Anatone, who was a Wall Street billionaire. And, I think that the whole odyssey, the whole genesis of Star DJs is really what I'm still all about. I'm about starting new things. I'm excited to start things from scratch. Excited to build them. After Star DJs, I started making products. We had a company called Adventures Products, and patented a detachable pillbox and built a brand of detachable pill organizers called Detach and Go.
Yeah.
A lot of people may know that or may not, but we've sold literally millions of pillboxes to pharmaceutical companies, in big retail chains like Walgreens and Target and CVS. And I eventually sold that portion of the company to a company called Apex.
Okay.
And then concentrated on the lighting. And the lighting was a pretty cool thing too because I had a home involved where I'm actually broadcasting right now, and I wanted to put in some lights, and the electrician came over and he charged me $700. He notched holes in my walls, and then I had to spackle and paint the whole room because I have the paint.
Oh man!
And so I said, there's got to be a better way. So I invented It's Exciting Lighting battery-powered wall sconces. Then went on to do pendant lights and outdoor motion sensor lights and swing arm reading lights. And so I built a whole line of battery-powered wireless LED lights that are sold now all over the place. They're sold on HomeDepot.com, Amazon.com, and catalogs. We're on Home Shopping Network. We've been on QVC, the shopping channel in Canada, a place called TVSN in Australia, which I was very happy to get down there and go on the air. We had our own hour, and I was the guy with the funny accent down there. So, kind of funny. And the whole thing, Mike. The journey of life that we're on is you work hard, you do what you think is right, you try to support your family, but along the way, I'm sorry to say that as of this moment, and I hope it stays this way for a long time, we've lost 7 star DJs that have died.
Yeah.
And geez, that's ridiculous.
I know.
And from car accidents to heart attacks to suicide, we've lost 7 guys.
Yeah.
And so when Danny Vines, Dan the Man Vines, many people know Dan, love him. I went to high school with Danny. And I'll tell the story again that, I was this nerdy kid from Cupsole Lake in Ringwood, and Danny was this cool drummer in a band down in Wanacue. When I went to high school, I was kind of a little dweeby, nerdy guy, and Dan took me under his wing and, got me into the circle of friends that, I had throughout high school. And he was always a big brother, even though he was only a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
Then I actually managed his band, Park Row. Man, what a talented group it was. And Dan was just a fantastic drummer. And through, just life and personalities, the band broke up, and Dan was like, what am I going to do? And I brought him into Star DJs. And Danny Vines became one of the most iconic DJs in our business.
That's right.
Built a great following, and eventually went off on his own and built DTM Productions. And I'm sorry to say we lost contact along the way. And then at our Star DJs reunion, I saw him, and it was a little awkward, but we got along well. You were there.
Yes.
And then we had our 30th high school reunion, and we really rebonded and hung out together and said, we got to get together and play golf. And next thing I know, I get a call that Dan the Man, Danny Vines, passed away from a heart attack. I was actually on my way to Home Shopping Network, and Mario Panicucci called me, and I was just in shock.
Sure, yeah.
And so that's really where Make 100 Healthy actually started, right there. Mario, who was very much into holistic healing and supplements and nutrition, he said, Johnny, Dan the Man probably didn't have to die. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He says most people that die of a heart attack in their 50s mostly go into cardiac arrest because they have a low magnesium level in their body. I'm like, what the heck? That doesn't make any sense. So we went on our journey of education and learning new things. And I can't believe how much we don't know about what we put in our body, how it affects us, how important exercise is, how important it is not to be stressed out. I mean, we're all stressed out. Our life is stressful. I mean, just putting this broadcast together was a little stressful.
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciated that you asked me to speak at the June NJDJA meeting. And I didn't know really, I'm known in the business and I'm pretty proud of what I've accomplished. But I really feel that the message that I want to deliver on Tuesday, June, is a message of vitality and longevity, and how you need to protect yourself now and build yourself now to be able to have the energy to be able to continue to do great jobs, to be able to be a great father or a husband, to be good inside yourself, be at peace inside yourself. And it's really not that hard, but it is totally unfamiliar to most people how to really live your best life, to live a balance. Not a team. If I just run, or I just exercise, I'm fine. No. All right. And so you said you're looking for ways to get more, exercise in your life.
Sure.
It really starts with the diet. We spoke about that.
Yes.
There's so many things in our diet that are bad for us.
Yeah.
I love wheat thins. Wheat thins sound good. I like wheat. I like to be thin. Sure. But the fact of the matter is, it's really not good for you because of the processed chemicals that they use, and the misinforming labels that they've done. It's really hard to know what to do. But if you get to the bottom line is, if you try to keep it as natural, we have a sister site run by Dave Nace, another DJ, great friend, part of our Make 100 Healthy team. Eat Clean, Live Healthy. Okay. Holistic Mario, which is where Mario hosts his online show, The Holistic Cafe. Okay. Really phenomenal information on what we need to do to stay healthy. Going back to Danny, Mario said we need 90 minerals and supplements and nutrient our body. Okay. And even a great diet doesn't get you all 90. So I started on these supplements from a company called Longevity that I get through Mario. And I can honestly say at 54 years old, I've never felt better. I've never had more energy. And I want to share that with, my sisters and brothers from different mothers, because let's face it, our industry is a small cottage industry.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same challenges, the same problems, the same, feelings of, satisfaction when people say this is the best wedding we've ever been to. And it's also a very tough thing because it's, as I used to say, it's the perfect part-time job, because you really only work, Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty much the most. So, a lot of folks are working real hard hour, but at the end of the year, they're like, wow, I live in New Jersey and I made $100,000 and I got 20 with the credit card debt and I can't get it forward. And so you have to rethink your thoughts on how you can expand your gig base and how you can make yourself different. And part of Make 100 Healthy is that we're going to be creating a lot of midweek gigs, a lot of opportunities to deal with corporations. The Christmas parties and have really gone down. Christmas parties are not what they used to be in the 80s. Oh my God, it was a great time. Maybe too great, that's why there's not more. Fact of the matter is I hope that we get a really good turnout next Tuesday, June 14th. Mike, I got to tell you, we have a program that is both informative, it's inspiring, and it's motivating to take an action in your life. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have, the 6 different areas of a balanced life. Okay, you have your brain health.
Okay.
Some people call that mental or emotional, but it's all about having brain health. And it's physical. Physical is how you exercise. It's how you take care of your body. It's how you sleep. Physical is what you eat. Then we have spiritual. And it's very important to be at peace with yourself and to have a relationship with a higher power. Whether you believe in God or Allah or Buddha or nothing at all, you're an atheist, there's always a spirit that is bigger than yourselves. And to have that type of knowledge and that feeling of enlightenment is something that's taken a long time for me to touch upon. Then you have financial. Mike, this is something I'm very passionate about because I've made a lot of money over the years.
Sure. And
for a lot of those years, I really didn't save because I lived up to my lifestyle. I know a lot of people have done that.
Sure.
I'm going to talk a little bit about everybody that gets cash. I don't want to claim this because I don't want to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
Never saved more money than now when I pay more taxes. I don't really pay more taxes. And I'm able to use to shelter my income, all legally, much better than taking cash and trying to hide it. The problem with taking cash is that you wind up spending it on things that are really not part of your monthly bill base. Take the family out to dinner, $200-$300. You don't want to show it. At the end of the day, you're using a lot of that money that you should have. So you have financial, then you have social. Social is how we all get along, have a family, groups, golf, working out, self-help groups, AA meetings. These are all support groups. If you are someone who is older and you don't have anyone, you can put money in the bank, but are you really having anybody to share it with?
Yeah. So
social is very important. In fact, one of our star DJs back in the day, now Mike Walter with Elite Entertainment, he posts all his videos with Shay, and he has something called Shay Strong. His poor dog lost his leg, but they've taken this liability and turned it into this inspiration. And Mike will make an appearance on Make 100 Healthy on Facebook, and he's going to talk about how pets are people too, how a lot of people have a relationship with their pets. And then lastly, it's not the most sexy part of what we talk about, but the environmental factors. Half the people that die, except for old age, die of an environmental concerns, getting hurt at work, getting cancers, not being careful by drinking lead-based water, about breathing air pollution. It goes on and on. Putting underarm deodorant that has aluminum and putting it right into your body. There's so many chemicals in what we do, and so many. Chicken's great. But the chicken that we eat, unless it's grass and hormone and antibiotic free, is full of, fattening agents to make the chicken look better to get more meat,
Yeah.
but it's not natural. Diet sodas. I know a lot of people say, well, I don't want to drink soda, I'll just drink diet soda. Well, diet soda has aspartame in it. Aspartame has been proven to actually go penetrate the mitochondria, which is the sac around your brain that protects your brain.
Yeah, right.
That's why Alzheimer's is so prevalent in our society today. So what I want to do is, it's not just me. I've got Mario, Holistic Mario, Dave, my brother Mike Murphy, another original star DJ. Mike Murphy has gone on to be a global manager, and he's a life coach that has really helped a lot of major corporations. And it's about empowering yourself and using the power of your brain and the positive attitude to be able to do things that you didn't think you could do. And we have Rick Taborda, who is a financial planner, talking about his story on how he actually, when he DJ'd, his father owned a deli.
Okay.
And all the DJ money that he made over the years, he put totally into savings. He was able to buy a 2-family house, and then he bought a strip mall. And he's going to share simple ways on how to use your finances to advantage to save for your future.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't think of themselves as having a future, and that's really not good.
It's bad.
And so we're going to be touching on the 6 pillars of balanced life that really give us the basis of vitality and longevity. Many people are living longer, Mike.
Yeah.
Many people are living longer. In fact, the centenarian age group, people that are 100 or over, it's estimated that they will grow 8 times by 2050.
Wow.
8 times.
Wow.
So people are going to be living longer. The question is, the quality of life that you enjoy, that is healthy, or you're going to be hooked up to a machine, for asthma or lung disease. And there's so many people that, we have more information than ever before at the click of a button. We know about, there's so many fitness centers, there's so many people that know what to do, but they don't do it. So what Make 100 Healthy is, it's really a mindset movement to get people to change their mindset and open their minds through movement, taking actions. And that could be in your business, could be for your health, could be for your family. But I can say, a lot of things about my life, successes, failures, a lot of challenges, a lot of victories. But at the end of the day, you can't give up. And you got to keep pushing yourself. And you got to keep learning. Because if you don't learn, you're dying.
Yeah.
And so at 54 years old, I feel fantastic. I am more energy and I have more motivation. And Make 100 Healthy is something that's really special to me. I'm doing it to honor those that have passed. We're going to have a lot of commemoration for people that are not here, because we want to use those as a cautionary tale. When you think about all the stars that passed away in this last few months, David Bowie,
yes,
Glenn Fry, Prince,
I know,
and it just came out, had a very big opioid addiction. But the fact is that I don't know if Prince was a drug addict. Prince had terrible hip replacement surgery, and because he's Prince, he was out dancing around and doing everything. He was in tremendous pain, so he took these opioids.
Right.
And so the fact of the matter is, at 57 years old, Prince is dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott Weiland from Velvet Revolver and STP. He died, maybe not of an overdose, but he had problems his whole life. The fact of the matter is that.
Did you say Michael Jackson too? I'm sorry, John. Did you mention Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson was another 50 years old. I didn't mention him. I was just talking the last few months of people that died, and but I mean, you have so many people that have passed a premature death. And the one thing that's been great about Make 100 Healthy, Mike, that we want to really offer to the folks that come to next Tuesday, is that it takes a community. I'm pushing myself more than ever because I got guys like Mario and Dave Nace and pushing me, and I'm pushing them. And I say pushing, It's teaching. We're just inspiring each other. And, one of the things we're going to share and we're going to talk is when you want to do something, the first thing you have to do is visualize what you,
Okay.
right? You want to visualize the outcome. And then you want to commit to yourself and put a game plan and really write a contract to yourself. This is what I'm going to do. This is my commitment. Then you write it down. When you write it down, the statistics show, when you write it down, you have about a 50% chance to accomplish it. Now, here's the thing. We talk about things and you make your an announcement and you basically commit to others what you're going to do, your chances of success go up tremendously. So we are here to help each other out. I'm going to tell you right now, on May 1st, I decided to do a 100-day cleanse, alcohol and caffeine.
Okay.
Well, the alcohol is not so hard, but caffeine, how could you do that? Well, today's June, what, June 5th or June 6th? So I'm
5th,
35, 36 days, I'm 37 days into no alcohol and no caffeine.
That's great.
And I feel fantastic. And you know what? I was out last night at 10th Avenue Burrito with my wife, and we were having some food. Of course, she had a margarita because she didn't take the cleanse. And I had club soda. And it didn't bother me. It's a mindset. So, I'm John Murphy. I'm Irish. I like to party. I'm a social drinker my whole life. I've never gone 35 days without alcohol. That's the thing. It's not I gave up alcohol. I put aside something to give myself a chance to feel better. Not that I felt bad, but I'm really doing this to prove a point that if an Irishman can give up alcohol for 100 days, do it.
Yeah.
It was really more about proving a point, and by proving the point, I'm making myself healthier. So, this is not, I am no expert in, I'm not a doctor. I'm not someone who has gone to school and has learned about all these things. I read a lot of books. I think I talked about Dr. Sears' book, Prime Time Health. I highly recommend it. It's the difference between getting old and being old and getting old and being young and being, full of life. And I choose that. So listen, Mike, I promise you that anybody who comes to the meeting on June 14th will come away with something that will be transformative in their life.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there to help them. This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood. This is a community because you really can't do things alone.
Yeah.
You could try. Diets don't work, but you know what? Eating naturally does work.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting out all the junk that we eat is an easy thing to do once you commit to doing it. If others are doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about is looking at a balanced life. We're going to offer an assessment to everyone, have an assessment on where you are in those 6 areas, and we're going to look at least one thing in any of those areas that you want to do, and we're going to put a 100-day action plan to help you get it done. I mean, that's not bad. That's a pretty good way to spend a Tuesday night. And I promise you'll come away with something positive, and at the very least, you'll have a very good evening, and it'll be an inspiring evening that will share each other's stories, and we'll push each other on in a lot of ways, Mike. It reminds me of the old Star DJs monthly meetings, right?
Absolutely.
Every
all
Tuesday,
the time. Yes.
Every Tuesday, we would get together, we would talk about the gigs, what happened, what's going on. It's the same sense of community, except this is a bigger cause. This is about our lives. And so many people are wrapped up in their business. So many people are wrapped up in their families that they don't take care of themselves and wait till tomorrow. Well, you know what? I'm never going to have that Anvinus. My heart bleeds about that. I'm never going to be able to get together with Ray Mardo. I'm never going to be able to see Brian Altenew again. I'm never going to be able to see Nelson De La Paz. I'm never going to be able to talk to Nat Brewster again. I'm never going to be able to see Chet Arrow. I'm never going to be able to see Phil Caroselli. Okay? These are just some of the people that have passed away.
Yes.
And so, please don't take for granted that we have a long journey. My goal is to live 100 years, but I'm going to live every day like it's my last. Yeah. And I think it's a mindset, and I enjoy what I'm doing, and I really want to share it with you about. And anybody in this industry, there's nobody in this world that knows more about what you're going through than I do, because I've been there and I've done that. And if I can offer some lending hand to help, I'm glad to do that. I just wanted to share the other members of the panel. Okay, so Dave Nace, Mario Panicucci, Victor Blake Murphy, Larry Kaplan, who people don't know, but he runs IT. He runs IT for Kenneth Cole. And we're going to all come together. We're going to give up our time and of ourselves to share the different areas and to help you to grow your life and it's positive. So I really hope that you make the time to come down and check out.
Yeah, it's going to be a great panel. And if anybody misses this one, they're selling themselves short. But you mentioned Larry Kaplan. He's taken the panel as well. He was. We have 6, right? I'm just trying to think who we had and is he replacing Rick DeBorda, or Rick will be there?
No, Rick DeBorda's going to be there. No, Larry's going to talk about the social thing. He is a social animal. He runs the IT for Kenneth Cole, and he's a dear friend. And so, we're going to put like 5 minutes of each section. Then we're going to open up the assessment. We're going to give everybody an assessment.
Okay.
And then we're going to make the Make 100 Healthy Challenge.
Yeah.
And we're going to celebrate being alive and enjoying each other, and some plans together to make our world a better place.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, definitely. You know what? You're so right about the social thing too, because that was one of the reasons why I actually joined. Not even thought of running for any type of office for the New Jersey Disc Jockey Network, but it was the missing element for me was the social aspect. Getting together at the Star DJ meetings was one of the greatest parts about being with the Star DJs. And when I left to do my own thing, it was a smaller group. But sometimes DJs, when they get to a certain level, they think they know it. They know everything. And I could tell you right now,
right,
and I know you'll say the same thing, you don't know everything. Don't think you do, because you don't. And
no one knows anything. No one knows everything. And if you do think that, then you're going to start to die instead of to grow.
Yes.
And even if you know things, it's not even a matter of actual book sense and knowing things. How about different perspectives?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story. And I think I heard this from Tony Robbins, who's just the greatest. I think one of the greatest icons in our world. And this guy was way ahead. 30 years ago, he was talking about cellular health. But he tells a story about a guy sitting on a train, and a father walks in with his 2 kids, and the father sits down on the train, and the kids are running up and down, and they're knocking people's newspapers over, and they're running around the train cabin, and the guy's getting upset.